All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to go over a few things that you guys can do starting today to kind of supercharge your summer marketing. So July is typically a slow month. Historically, when we go back and look at sales in July, can be a slow month. So we're going to talk about a couple ways where you can fire stuff up and maintain your relevancy as an agent. So this will be a great, a lot of things that we'll talk about. We've talked about before, but it's a good refresher. So before we get into today's presentation, we're going to bring Bill Seitz, the corporate broker of Alta, on the line. Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, everybody. We're doing all right.
All right, perfect. And I've been fighting a cold for about a week now, so if I sound a little hoarse, that is the reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like you're definitely under the weather.
Not feeling 100%, my friend.
Well, it happens. Not frequently in the summertime, but every once in a while, yeah, we get something.
I was on a good roll of not being sick for about 6, 7 months, and so it had to come to an end at some point.
Yeah, right. It always does. Um,
Yeah.
Excited to hear about your content this morning, Kevin. Just a couple quick things. Just a reminder for files. Just make sure you just keep those closing dates accurate and updated. Really helps us from a brokerage, overview standpoint, and also just understanding what our flow and timelines need to be for getting CDAs out. So if everyone can just remind your TCs, or if you're not using a TC, to keep those escrow dates current, up to speed. If there's any changes, go in there and make those corrections. That would be super helpful.
Yeah, those kinds of things really help the brokerage to make sure that we are doing things in a timely manner. And if we don't know when the close of escrow is, it's going to be a little bit harder for us to stay on top of that, right, Bill?
Yeah, it's all about communication. So we're just trying to make sure that we're all communicating as best we can. Um, And aside from that, I will be doing a quick little mortgage update. I don't know if you can pull up the 10-year treasury. There was
Okay.
rumors of a potential rate reduction. Um, that's what I was hearing, but it looks like to me that, usually when they talk about lowering rates at the federal, treasury, Federal Reserve level, usually it's already baked into the market. The smart people already know it's going to happen or not happen. And so if you look at the rates today, it's actually ticked up, 4 basis points.
Yeah.
So that's the 10-year anyways. That's not a true indicator. I mean, it's just a directional indicator of mortgage rates. It's not what actually mortgage rates, are, or it doesn't, they don't trade or flow in exact tandem, but this is just a directional indicator. So you can see that 10 years slightly up this morning. And so there is no, adjustment or any news. I don't see, let's see here, about rates dropping. So we'll just keep an eye on that, Kevin, and hopefully we'll get some relief here soon.
For sure. The rest of the world's dropped their rates. Why aren't we?
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure on that to happen, but we'll see
Yeah,
we'll see how it plays out.
for sure. No, that'd be great. It would really help us out a lot. As we know, that helps our buyers and helps the entire economy. So that'd be great if they did that.
Yeah, let's we'll be keeping an eye out, and it's got to happen at some point.
For sure. All right, perfect. Well, anything else to add, Bill?
No, I just agree. I agree with your opening. It is the kind of the dog days of summertime. Typically I see a lot of people just around my community. There's a lot of out of towners on vacation. A lot of people are doing those last minute family trips before school starts again, and I feel like this is just kind of that little midsummer quiet time before it'll probably get busy again here in late August and September. So it's a good time, like you said, get your marketing done, get stuff that you normally wouldn't maybe have as much time to attend to or pay attention to. This is a great time to work on some of that stuff. as you kind of maybe transition into the fall time, and and really push yourself for a good end of the year.
Exactly. And so that's a perfect segue into today's topic, which is ways to elevate your summer marketing. And yesterday, I apologize when I put the original invite out. I had put in the correct title and then I didn't save it. And so I sent out the title of last week's webinar yesterday. So I corrected it this morning, but occasionally I do stuff like that. So apologize for that. But today's uh, webinar is about ways to elevate the summer marketing. And of course, we like to use AI for lots of stuff. And so I will put in a small little blurb about AI. And I did actually, just as an exercise, I put into to AI, what would they do, or what do they suggest to elevate your summer marketing, just as kind of a fun deal. And it was pretty classic because a few of the same things that I came up with, they came up with. So good stuff there. So anyway, especially during summer, but in a world with automation and AI, I think the agents that lead with the heart and the human connection are the ones that stand out, and something that we talk about all the time. So some of these things are simple, but they're very overlooked, and they're really, ways to build a lasting business. And when it all comes down to it, I think the number one word kind of permeates what you would, this whole idea of what we're about to do, and that word is gratitude. So if you can convey gratitude to your clients, to the people in your sphere of influence, that goes a long way. I don't know about you, but when people are, exude gratitude, it makes me look at them in a different light. And I think that could be the same thing for all of you guys too. So, and this is not just something that, these techniques are not just things that you can do at a closing. They're not just stuff that you can do, during the holidays, but during the seasons where it does get quiet. This is when you should do it. And so this is the exact good time of year, especially if you don't have a lot of business going on. You're not, actually doing all of the nuts and bolts of a deal. This is the time to double down on your marketing and to stay relevant. So the first one is something I talk about all the time, and it's a great idea. And even if you only do it once or twice a year, do a summer client appreciation event. And it could be something as easy as a backyard barbecue at your own home, to a sunset ice cream social. Those two are really easy ways to do client appreciation events, or even at a local pizza parlor, buy pizza for, your clients and people in your neighborhood, and just have a real easy, laid back, not all the way branded. And, of course, you're going to have your branding, you're going to have your cards, you're going to, be offering to do, evaluations for homes. You're going to be, there's a lot of different things that you can do at these summer socials. But the basis of this, and the kind of the real reason, is just to show gratitude, and to show your clients that you care, and you're not just somebody that just takes from the community. You give back. And so those client appreciation events are amazing. You can also get local vendors to participate, and then you're bringing them business. You can always make sure that they're bringing you business, so that's a win-win. So a little pro tip is bring name tags. Also, maybe have a photo booth and hand out thank you cards on site. If you can't do a photo booth, you can hire maybe a teenager to just take pictures of people as they come in, and then you can use those in social media. And you can send those pictures to the people that came through and say, hey, oh yeah, here's your cool picture. Let me send it to you. Another good way to make sure that you have phone numbers and all those good things. So those little things, I think, are really cool. You can also have thank you cards on site, handwritten thank you cards. So hand those out as people either come through the door or leave. And those are little pro tips that can make this, your summer event very memorable for the people in your neighborhood. So another really cool idea is to provide a summer survival kit. So what the heck is that? So think about, practical, personal things like a small tote with sunscreen, reusable water bottle, cooling towel, bug spray, and the same thing with a little handwritten note. Just says something to the effect of, just wanted to help you stay cool this summer, right? Thanks for trusting me with your real estate journey. It's not pushy. It just, again, it just shows that gratitude. And and for a summer survival kit or things like that, you're obviously not going to do that for everybody on your list. But what I like to do, and what I try to remind agents to do, is to divide up their list into A, B, and C, or tier one, tier two, tier three, however you want to slice it. And so maybe just your tier A people or your tier one people get, that summer survival kit. Past clients, people that are on your hot list. So, you don't have to break the bank, but it could be a very, very cool thing. And everybody appreciates gifts, right? So we're all humans, we all appreciate a gift. I don't care who you are. So one thing that you can also do is you can include a magnet or a postcard with a quick little summer maintenance checklist. That's a really cool thing. And there's a whole dovetail off of that as well. But so the third thing is create and share a local summer guide. This is a really fun and easy way that you can stay relevant, show the people in your sphere that you are the local expert, the neighborhood expert, and you go beyond real estate. You don't just do real estate. You're also, helping your local community, helping, people understand local events, and they might know about it, but still they're going to get that reminder of, what's going on in the market from you, or what's going on in the neighborhood from you, which is a very, very powerful tool. And it really, I think it makes a real big impact when you're not just sell, sell, sell. You're also providing value all along the year, all year long. You're also providing value. Those are the things that get referrals every time. And those are the things that build that client appreciation. It really exudes your gratitude on how you are perceived within the community. And I think it goes a long way. In fact, I know it does. So, and the local summer guides, that can be stuff like a PDF that you go, door to door, hand out. And also you can do that on social media. So you should be doing both. And that really, shows that you are the expert. So number 4 on my list here is you can offer a free home checkup or a seasonal maintenance reminder. So there's certain things that everybody should be doing, occasionally. And in the summer, maybe it's things like making sure that your AC unit is, up to date, up to, it's been inspected, so your AC doesn't go out, right? You can also, same thing, you can team up with your trusted local contractors, your handyman, and have them offer a complimentary or a discounted checkup, and clean out the gutters, check the sprinkler systems, anything like that. And then again, you're pushing your handyman, you're pushing your contractors, you're allowing them to get in front of your clients, and then those contractors and those handymen will be expected to refer business to you as well. So it's always a two-way street. Contractors and handymen get hit up all the time when people are thinking about selling their home. And so if you have the contractors and the handyman on your side and you are referring them business, and you train them to refer business to you, that is the power, and that is the synergy that you need in your local community. So always remember that. Always create your your team of trusted service providers, ancillary service providers in your neighborhood. And so you guys are a group, you're a team. I always say that you guys should meet once a month at a minimum, either at, a local, spot for breakfast or just a quick Zoom meeting. And then that way you're just creating that synergy. You're keeping everybody together. Everybody can have ideas about, what they could be offering, what you could offer them. So those are the kinds of things that really also position you as a local neighborhood expert. So really good stuff there, guys. Number 5 is drop off a sweet treat. Who doesn't like to have somebody come by and give you like a little bit of like banana bread or brownies or whatever the heck it is, right? Or just a little little bag of like jelly beans. It doesn't have to be a lot. You can do some really, really cheap stuff. So surprise your clients, right? Surprise the people in your neighborhood. That goes a long way. You're not asking for anything really, you're just giving something. And so anybody that does that, any realtors that do that, and we probably all understand or have had this happen. I have a few realtors in my area that do that, and I'm never bummed. I'm always like, hey, that was nice. Of course, I'm not going to use either of them because I have my own team, but it's never something that goes unnoticed. And every time it happens, I'm like, I need all my realtors to do this. This is effective, right? So always love it. It never hurts. It doesn't get old, right? And then, you know, like I said, just it doesn't need to be extravagant. It just needs to be timely and thoughtful, and that's what gets remembered. So number 6 on my list is send a personalized market update. So absolutely. So the market updates, especially for the homeowners, and of course you should be working with DJ Bib or a title rep and know exactly who the homeowners are in your farm. And so I've got an example of a market update from the Sierra Interactive system. So let me switch my share here. So this is an example of the market update that comes out of the Sierra system. And so what's cool about this is it has active properties. It has coming soon, if there were. It has under contract properties. And it has sold properties. So if you're a homeowner, this is really, really cool information. And so 2 different things that you can do and 2 different ideas that you can do is you can, and this is exactly how I would do it. I would create a graphic, and I would probably use AI. I would create a quick graphic that has the top 4 active and the top 4 sold, or either top 4 sold and or under contract properties. I would have that, create a graphic, and then I would create a QR code that goes to this address, this web address. And this is for Crystal Burns. This is one that I just helped her create this or last week. And so everybody should have a go-to market update that they can send to their clients. You can just send it in a text. You can send it in an email. You can, just put it on social media. A lot of ways that you can utilize these market updates. And so, sending a personalized market update to the people in your sphere of influence takes almost no time. And you can put it in a little note that just says something like, hey, just wanted to share what's happening in your neighborhood right now. Here's a couple of home values that might surprise you. You can even attach a mini, CMA or video message as well. Just super quick little video message. Hey, and you can, so what I would do if I was going to do a video message is I would record this with Zoom. I would start with me on the camera saying, hello, just wanted to see, show you what's happening in your neighborhood right now. And then I would instantly click onto this market update, and I would go through a few of these actives, a couple under contract, and a couple solds. And you can have that video CMA very concise. It could be 30 seconds to a minute. And if you're receiving that as a client, that shows that that real estate agent cares about you. They've done a customized quick video CMA for you, and it goes a long way. And so if that's the only thing that you do this week, then you're way ahead of a lot of other realtors. So, and again, this isn't just a pitch, it's a service. You are, just keeping your clients informed. You're showing that, you're still actively invested in their biggest investment. And so you care about what is going on, and you're keeping them informed, making sure that they understand exactly what's going on in their market. So you got to, this is so important, guys, because we all know the kiss of death for realtors is you sell somebody a property, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years later, they use somebody else to list their property. It is the killer. Nobody likes it. So let me get back to my graphic here. Number 7 is celebrate milestones that matter. So same kind of thing, anniversaries, birthdays, new babies, first summer in the new home, all those little things. Those are easy to track in your CRM. You can make those little notes, you can make those little reminders and alerts to make sure that they pop up and you know exactly what to do. In our CRM, you would create a task and make sure that, on any of these anniversaries or any of these, birthdays, that you know exactly what to do. And you take the guesswork out. Again, handwritten cards, always good. Bottle of lemonade, bottle of, champagne if they're, alcohol drinkers. All those little things can really go a long way. And those are the things that I feel that, you need to set aside budget for. Obviously, there's a place for buying leads, but setting aside budget for these re-engagement strategies and making sure that you're showing gratitude, those are the things that are going to actually get you referrals. And all of the stats show that the vast majority of realtor deals come from referrals and come from past clients. So we got to hammer that stuff, and we have to stay right on top of it. So another great idea is to, have a little summer fun giveaway. I'm always a fan of, doing referral contests and saying things like, hey, enter to win a backyard barbecue, or whatever it happens to be, or tell us your favorite summer memory for a chance to win a local concert ticket. You could do just about anything. Make it your own, make it something that is, true to you, and keep the entry tied to your business. So it's all right. Yes. In order to, be a part of this giveaway, send me either a testimonial or a referral. And the referral can just be, an email, copying you, referring a friend, or a text. And simple as that. Then you put their name into a little hat. And then it's always fun to do a Zoom, video of you pulling out the hat and pulling the name out of the hat and saying, hey, John Smith just won our summer giveaway. He just won tickets to see whatever, or he just won a backyard barbecue valued at $200, So something like that is super fun. It's engaging. It's great for social media, great for, websites, and it does create engagement. It does work. So People love free stuff. They love sharing free stuff with others, and they love to tell people about things that they got for free. So it's all kind of no-brainers. And then the last one is just no strings attached, handwritten note. Here you go. You can do this for pretty much everybody in your sphere of influence, especially your A and B clients. So it never gets old. Super easy to do. Get a stack of really cool, stationery with your name on it, your brand, and just say something super simple like, this time of year always reminds me how grateful I am for the clients who've trusted me. Hope you're having a great summer, Kevin. That's it. So, and then just for fun, I put into the Claude AI system. I said, what are 5 effective strategies for California realtors to reconnect with past clients and sphere clients during the summer? And so they came up with market update communications. They came up with summer social events, kind of funny. And then home maintenance reminders with value. We got that one too. And this one I didn't have on my list, but it's a great idea anyway. Vacation rental consultation. We sell homes to a lot of clients that use their homes as summer vacation rentals, right? Or clients that do Airbnbs. So you could have a consultation about that. You could show them platforms like Airbnb and show them what they could get for their home if they wanted to rent it out for the summer or for a month out of the summer. So that's a really cool idea. I didn't come up with that one. And then back to school timing strategies. As Bill said, July, a lot of people are, taking their final summer vacations with their kids and their family. And so this is the time of year, early August, is to come up with some kind of a back to school timing strategy, some kind of, information about, the school districts, the family friendly neighborhoods, current inventory, so this kind of timing can catch people in their planning phase when they're most receptive to real estate conversations. It's exactly how we started this webinar is, right now people might not be, listing their homes right this second, but they're thinking about it. So great time of year to, re-energize your marketing, to get people to start thinking about you again. And so really good stuff. Hope you guys take some of these things and use them today. So, Bill, any quick takeaways from today's summer marketing elevation
Yeah, I
webinar?
mean, there's so many different things you can do, and a lot of the ones you mentioned are cost effective, so they're not bank busters, or budget busters. But additionally, if you don't even have your list, like we talk about lists constantly, and we'll continue to talk to them, and as long as we're in this business, if you
As long
don't
as
have
we're breathing.
yeah, if you don't have your list, or if you have a list and you haven't segmented it into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, I like that personally. I like having your A grade circle, your B and C or whatever, 1, 2, 3, to market to, individually or collectively. And then also, if you don't even have one, now's a great time to get that done. You can get all your marketing done this basically back in the summer and into fall, and you'll be humming. But if you don't even have that, then you're kind of a lot of the stuff doesn't apply because you're not prepared to implement it.
That's 100%. And so, of course, our program 2, um, which is $99 a month, that gives you the Sierra Interactive System. So that's our CRM. That's where we, keep track of all of our clients. So again, all you'll do is once you have somebody in your CRM, all you have to do is click on this little searches thing right here and set them up with an e-alert and or a market update if they're a seller. Sometimes the sellers like to have e-alerts and market updates, but it keeps you top of mind. You're providing them with very, very relevant information, and most importantly, we know exactly what we're doing with every single one of the people in our list. We know what kind of price ranges they're looking for, how often they visit our websites. So really, really important to, have that list and to nurture that list all the time. Your list is your business, right, Bill? You're on mute, Bill. Okay, we lost Bill.
No, sorry. There was a Kevin, sorry. There was a phone call coming in. It was weird. It was like it was messing with the Zoom functionality.
Oh, that'll happen.
Yeah, it was like it didn't know what it was allowing me to do. It was like
Yeah.
to push the phone call into voicemail or to activate the speaker. Sorry about that. But anyways, yeah, all really good stuff. Once again, we really try to find practical things that are effective, that work. I mean, it's just amazing that you ask those questions into the AI and they actually come up exactly what you had planned for today. So we must be on the right track if the supercomputers are saying the same things as we are. All it takes is a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of work, and these things will be very effective in your business.
For sure. Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. All right, perfect. Well, hey, Bill, thanks for the insights. As always, we appreciate you and everything you do. And I hope you guys, as agents, take a few of these things, implement it into your business, make this week a productive week and a great week. And we will see you guys all next Wednesday on the webinar. And I've got a really fun one for us next Wednesday. We're going to talk about tired business strategies that don't work and ways that you can improve them. So looking forward to presenting that to you guys next week. And like I said, make it a productive week and a great week. And we'll see you guys all next Wednesday. Bye-bye.